Rainy days and Mondays always perk me up. Travis Wingood's on. Marjorie Taylor Greene. She deceived everyone. She's a spy for Trump. She didn't break up with Trump. She's on a special church service mission. We need a national divorce. CNN reported over the weekend. Although they're showing April 2022. Why? Because she did it again over the weekend. She just reposted. Find the original one. CNN. We need to separate by red states and blue states and shrink the federal government. Shrink? You're calling for a destruction of the federal government. Everyone I talk to says this. Boom! There's the Trump. From the sick and disgusting woke culture issues shoved down our throats to the Democrats' traitorous inside politics Sunday are. CNN is supposed to be professional. They're supposed to know they're going to have their logo with the line and the text and the... Unbelievable. So here we go again. Trump failed last couple of years with his second coming to do a different approach to the national divorce that Marjorie Taylor Greene called for with the election scandal in 2020. Here we go again. So, you're welcome, Mormons. You'll never thank me, but you're welcome. So, yeah, with great temperatures, aggravated with fire, comes rainstorms. It was pretty cold. For summertime rain, this is pretty cold. Yep, perfect weather to go running in, that's for sure. So, the backstory that only we older Mormons know about, younger generation, if they know about it, they only know the myth. They don't bother to search for the primary source documents. They're too busy with their emotional support animal. They got the ferret. It's just, oh my God. It's full-on psychology. Oh my hell, Scorpion. And it's supposed to be based on the guy who invented the AI program, using it with facial recognition first. If that's who he is in real life, even though it's based on a character, or the character is based on him, he is not an intelligence. They were bragging about 197 IQ, the fourth largest in the world. Yeah, well, if that's intelligence, it's pretty stupid. They're vilifying the scientific method as a sociopath. And then finally cured him, which apparently psychologists say can't be cured. Mental retardation, it can't be cured. You're just born that way. We need their help forever. Got to make sure that we can pay the insurance money. and the big pharma drugs. But he broke. The episode I saw yesterday, he broke. He cried. He's not a sociopath anymore. He's now human. Paige? What kind of a girlfriend are you? Calling him not human. And your son is hearing this. Mommy doesn't think I'm human. God, those Nazis really did a number on us. You gotta know the backstory, people. Gotta know the backstory. So the backstory of what's going on right now. John Taylor had a dream recorded by Wilford Woodruff for some reason, instead of him. In which he says, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints will fall. Salt Lake City, fall. Destroyed. Federal government, destroyed. World governments, destroyed. Oh, but there's going to be some guys in robes standing in a circle with their arms stretched out. Pele El. Oh. Do you kids not know what that is? Oh, kids don't watch my show, huh? Just the older generations that go, hey, wait, yeah, that's right. There was Pele El before, oh God, hear the words of my mouth. Not the correct translation, John Taylor. Mouth to God. He had a weird way of doing Hebrew. Nonetheless, Heber C. Kimball comes out and says a test. Mormons will fail. Church will fall. Government of Utah, the United States, fail. Missionaries called home. See, I don't know why that one window always has that extra stuff. I can't justify it looking outside. There's no... I don't get it. It's weird. Nonetheless, hopefully it's not blowing in the window today. So I should be okay. During the middle of the night, there was also some rain that woke me up. And I just said, went back to bed. So, Harold B. Lee files additional articles of incorporation. 1973, was it? Dun, 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 dun. Are you kidding? Dun, 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 dun. Yep. 19th of November, 1973. We'll read you the exact quote. Because there's a plan in place for the latter days. I tried to warn Mormons. 19 July 1940. Upon the winding up and dissolution of this corporation. Bye-bye, Mormons. Bye-bye. Thank you for the money. The times we're singing. Da-na-na-na-na. Thanks for all the misery we brought you. See ya. Sucks to be ya. Yep, church is planning on destroying itself. Harold B. Lee knew. He knew. It's coming. Ezra Taft Benson. The Constitution will be saved as prophesied by Joseph Smith, but it will not be saved in Washington. I do my videos putting in my clips and my pretty pictures for a reason, Mormons. This is how you've treated me, huh? This is how you've treated me. You gotta put all the pieces of the puzzle together. You can't separate them and say they're not related. It's all related. That's why you get it from the different sources. You need 3 confirmations. We've got 1 billion of them. So, need a pulling thread, drink a jam and bread. So let's start with section 101. If I start seeing water flooding into the, I have to panic. Section 101, Joseph gives a parable in verse 43. Yep. Lightning strikes again, Oaks. You know. And the thunder rolls. Somebody's cheating on Mormons. Whoa. Verse 51. The enemy came by night, broke down the hedge. Servants of the nobleman arose and were affrighted and fled. Brave Sir Oaks ran away. He's near death, aren't ya? Yeah, how many weeks has it been now since you've gone missing again? Just the one? Are you sure? Yeah, the ones that are near death, they're just going to lay down and die. The others are going to be the ones running away. Broke down the hedge. Servants of the nobleman arose and affrighted and fled. And the enemy destroyed their works. Yeah, they destroyed their actions. Faith without works? Action? Is it? Or is it the temples, the churches, the genealogy centers, Temple Square? Those are completed works. Those aren't verbs, those are nouns. No bleeping duh. This is an awesome morning. And broke down the olive trees. So if we get power outages today, they'll be legitimate power outages, not shutoffs. So, what the church didn't want you to know about was 19 July 1840. Joseph Smith. He knows all. And Brigham Young was pissed. I have this available on academia.edu. I'm saying lots of people are coming to that nowadays. It's not being used primarily. YouTube is. I just put some temporary stuff, you know, like the first draft of the complete works of Joseph Smith. I've got work to do on those stuff that I posted. So don't think that they're completed and that therefore they suck. They're not done yet. And if you're rushing me, you're not paying attention to my YouTube videos. Have you seen all 10.5K? No? Well, get busy. Quit complaining about documents not available for you. I altered my life from doing documents to doing these YouTube videos. You need to watch my YouTube videos, study them, pay attention to them. Because I've been doing the pretty pictures, I've been doing the video clips for a reason. And here we are. I told you so. So, 19 July 1840, Joseph Smith makes additional comments on verse 51. And everybody quotes this wrong because they're quoting the White Horse Prophecy rather than this, the primary source document of Joseph Smith. Better not be like that. Don't see any. So we should be good. He's blowing from that direction. Then the enemy came as a thief in the night, broke down the hedge, and the servants of the nobleman arose and were affrighted and fled. And the enemy did scatter the servants abroad. I always wondered about that. A second scattering? Because we know Mormons are scattered all over the world. We know that Joseph Smith gathered the house of Israel, scattered around the world. Technically just the United States and Canada. In the beginning. It was Brigham Young who set them up to come to him only by changing the name of the church as missionaries. But a second scattering after Joseph Smith. So, yeah, with the Exodus events in 2020, 2021, Green River, I was well aware of the potential of Mormons getting scattered with destruction. And I put out the call. Any survivors, if that is the scenario that will take place, because you didn't listen to me, and I put the pretty picture in position for that. This was at least a month ago. Been doing variations of it, using the other one of the design closest to the design I got in my brain. Great Mormon Exodus 2026, without the Mormon Moses to lead you. You're being scattered instead of led out of the great and abominable church. And so, when the seed of these 12 olive trees are scattered abroad, they will wake the nations of the whole earth. Yeah, you went national, Mormons. Utah is up in flames. Record-breaking heat, drought, fires. Yeah, the Danites have risen, and they're burning you to the ground. Destroying Utah, destroying the church. Because Trump failed. Because you're a loser. Even this nation, the United States of America, will will be on the very verge of crumbling to pieces and tumbling to the ground. And here's where Benson said that Joseph is a liar, false prophet on fire. And when the Constitution is upon the brink of ruin. Yeah, I don't see no hanging by thread here. This people will be the staff upon which the nation shall lean, and they shall bear away the Constitution from the very verge of destruction. And then we go to Zion. Ooh. One person, huh? One person. A man like Moses, huh? Yep, if you keep reading section 101's parable, when Jesus shows what the bleeping hell happened. Didn't I command you? So Jesus says unto one of his servants, go and gather with the keys of Moses. You're not catching on? The church leadership are gone. They fled. John Taylor says they're gone. Heber C. Kimball says they're gone. Harold B. Lee says they will be gone. They took the money and ran. Benson says America will fall. Catching on yet? And they betrayed you. They made you believe they were true. Just like cult groups using spiritual witness feelings. You got betrayed, deceived. John chapter 10. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up by some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. The leader of the church has no authority? If they have to go up by some other way, because they ain't got the keys of Moses, claiming it's Peter, James, and John, wrong keys, they can't get in. So they have to climb up by some other way. So verse 10, the thief cometh not but for to steal and to murder and to destroy. So going back again to verse 2, but he that entereth in by the door is the only one authorized to lead the church. He has the keys of Moses. To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice. And they say, who are you, that we might know you? Burn the witch! We're waiting for Jesus. And he calleth his own sheep by name. Come. And leadeth them out. The names, though awfully hilarious, were not appropriate. And when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, not behind them. And the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. And they listen and obey. This parable spake Jesus unto them, but they understood not what things they were which he spake unto them. Oh my bleeping hell! Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. Wait, you're not the shepherd? All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. You're a false prophet. I'm not listening to you. I'm only going to listen to the leaders of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We're not going to listen to the scriptures. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. Is Oaks giving his life to save you, Mormons? Hell no. So, but he that is an hireling, and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth. And the wolf catcheth them, and scattereth the sheep. Ooh, I don't see this footnoted to section 101, verse 51. The hireling careth not for the sheep, Oaks. So anybody who studies their scriptures knows my word. Do you remember 21st night, September? Love was changing the minds, pretender. Jeremiah 23. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. They're not even doing that. Get a job, you bum! You ain't getting none of the bishop's storehouse, which is not Jesus' treasury. That comes from your own money, not the tithing for Jesus. We have to invest this for those who are not Mormon, to make them think we're charitable, and that they'll join the church and pay tithing. You who are members must pull yourselves up by your own bootstraps. Tithing isn't fire insurance, even though we've said it was. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings. I tried to warn you, Oaks. So many times. You saw me warn Nelson. I tried to warn. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries. Wait, Mormons aren't supposed to stay where they are? Scattered? Whither they were driven. And I will bring them again to their own folds, Zion. And they shall be fruitful and increase. That's sex ed. Evil in this church. Shh. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more. It's actually the bishop's storehouse, which is the treasury, which is the non-monetary system of economy for Zion. Nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith the Lord. And the system is set up to avoid human error. But if you guys don't listen and everything is destroyed and survivors only, if I have to dumb this down for you, Zion, I am not going to be happy. Because even with the Beehive Clothing Storehouse that I told you about yesterday or over the weekend, again, my design had to be dumbed down because the best system is one without humans. Because when you're dealing with humans, they got all these emotions that get in the way. Not using the scientific method. And so, yeah, I had to factor in the human response into my design, the redesign. The better way was not the one that I had recommended. The one that factored in the human behavioral responses was the one I recommended. And that was the one that surprised everybody. Well, imagine what I could have done if I was able to do it the original plan. But yeah, in Zion, there's no monetary system of economy. So people don't have to commit crimes to survive. You can actually marry somebody for love, not money. So yeah, the design is without humans. All of the hard labor work without humans, robotic automation. You guys are going to ruin it, aren't you? Nonetheless. And so, yeah, you guys will be fed. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, because if we can't have my storehouse the way it's designed, then we have to have humans being in charge of receiving and giving the substance, and that's just going to cause problems. Anyway, we need to eliminate as many problems as we can. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David. Who the hell is this David guy? That ain't Jesus. A righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In his days, the Roman period time of Jesus, Judah shall be saved. Was Judah saved in the Roman period time? Mormons and Christians? Ninth Ave is coming up, Oaks. Just saying. The walls of the Roman period temple are about to be breached in the coming day. Oaks. The initial breach from 586 was it the same year? Yeah, I think it was the same year. It just took extra weeks until 9th Ave for that one too. Yep. The Lord liveth. Oh. And Israel shall dwell safely. And this is his name, whereby he shall be called Yahweh Melchizedek. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Ooh, David and Moses. I'm horrified that there's a cover-up on this on AI, Google, and Microsoft. Nobody wants to make the connection. It's the same person. It's Emmanuel. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country and from all countries whither they were scattered, and they shall dwell in Zion. My heart within me is broken because of the living prophets of Jesus. The land is full of adulterers. Because of the swearing the land mourneth. The pleasant places of the wilderness are dried up, and their course is evil, and their force is not right. Both the prophet and priest are profane. In my temple have I found their wickedness. Shall begin in the temple. Section 120 something. Let's go with that one. '94. No. So, not in. 110. No. Upon my house, 112. Yeah, there we go. 23. Verily, verily, I say unto you, darkness covereth the earth, and gross darkness the minds of the people. Hey, just like when Christianity got formed. And all flesh has become corrupt before my face. Behold, vengeance cometh speedily upon the inhabitants of the earth. A day of wrath, a day of burning, a day of desolation, of weeping, mourning, lamentation, sensitive snowflakes, dogs and cats living together, and as a whirlwind it shall come upon the face of the land. Where did you think the Ghostbusters got it from? And upon my house shall it begin. Mormons are to blame, Mormons are to blame. And from my house shall it go forth, saith the Lord. First among those of you who, saith the Lord, who have professed to know Emmanuel, and have not known Emmanuel, and have blasphemed against Emmanuel in the midst of his house, saith the Lord. So then we can go to section 1. It's all over the place, guys. I can just do this all day. Bruce, why didn't you footnote these? Why am I having to do it for you? Do you not know no better now than you did then? Section 1. The anger of the Lord is kindled, and his sword is bathed in heaven, and it shall fall upon the inhabitants of the earth. And the arm of the Lord shall be revealed, and the day cometh that they will not, who will not hear the voice of the Lord, neither the voice of his servants, not the 12. They were not in existence yet. That's Joseph. Neither give heed to the words of the prophets, Joseph, but in the context of apostles, the Bible, even the Book of Mormon can count, shall be cut off from among the people. Precisely as it stands in our New Testament. For they have strayed from mine ordinances. Yeah, those who didn't join the church, right? They violated the ordinances. They have broken the everlasting covenant. Child bride polygamy, right? The world rejected child bride polygamy, and therefore no, it's you, Mormons. Mormons seek not the Lord to establish his righteousness, but every Mormon walketh in his own way, after the image of their own God, whose image is in the likeness of the world, and whose substance is that of an idol statue god Jesus, who waxeth old and shall perish in the great and abominable church of Lucifer. King of Babylon, Isaiah says, is Lucifer. It's in the Book of Mormon. So literal history true. Even Babylon the Great, which shall fall. Yeah. Isaiah says he's a human, not a disembodied spirit. So, who is this man like Moses that we should know him? Go to the Law of the Jews, chapter 5. Moses called all Israel and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I speak in your ears this day, that ye may learn them and keep them and do them. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, even from the house of bondage. Thou shalt have none other gods before me. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image of Jesus, or any likeness of anything that is in the earth above, or heaven above, the earth beneath, that is in the waters beneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them and serve them. You hate me. And so, thus, Moses is the Jewish Christ. He's not Jesus. Jesus is the destroyer who's coming to burn people. He's the king of Babylon. Deuteronomy 18, verses 15 through 18. The Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet. That's a human baby with human parents, not supernatural. From the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me, unto him ye shall hearken. And verse 20, but the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or shall speak in the name of Jesus, false prophet, even that prophet shall die. Oh crap, Oaks. I tried to warn. Hey, Bruce R. McConkie, I see Joseph Smith History, verse 40. See 3 Nephi 20:23. I see Acts chapter 3, verses 22 and 23. I don't see section 85. Verse 40. He quoted also the 3rd chapter of Acts, 22nd, 23rd verses, precisely as they stand in our New Testament. He said that prophet, Moses, a man like Moses, and Moses chapter 1, Moses is in the similitude of the only begotten. Ta-da! Christ. The Jewish Christ, not Jesus, who was made up in the First Creed by Roman Emperor Constantine. The day had not yet come, because Joseph Smith is Messiah ben Joseph in the learning of the Jews. 2 Nephi chapter 3. And so Messiah ben David Moses, Emmanuel. Notice, how is Nephi, not Moroni, Willard Richards, is described? Sun god at noonday, huh? Emmanuel. Yep. Descendant of David, man like Moses, prophet like Moses, prophet, seer, revelator, translator, put them in order. What do you got? Seer, prophet, revelator, translator. S-P-R-T. Spirit, acronym. Section 107. When Mormons who will not hear his voice should be cut off from among the people. And then they give you the calendar date and clock time of when he comes. Do you remember the 21st night of September? Love was changing the minds, pretender. How we knew love was here to stay. Section 103. Behold, I say unto you, the redemption of Zion must needs come by power. Therefore I will raise up unto my people a man who shall lead Mormons like as Moses led the house of Israel For Mormons are the house of Israel, the seed of Abraham, and must needs be led out of bondage of the great and abominable church of Jesus Christ, of Lucifer Christ, by power and with a stretched out arm. As your fathers were led at the first, even so shall the redemption of Zion be. And so everybody believes, because of the misquoting of the footnotes, that it's got to be Joseph Smith as a zombie apocalypse, because the resurrection as Christian, not Jewish. You can't mix religions. And so, the corporate governance, Joseph Smith, for Melchizedek priesthood protocols, for which Brigham Young is not authorized because he didn't obey verse 22, verse 91 and 92. Again, the duty of the president of the office of the high priesthood is to preside over the whole church and to be like unto Moses for Christ. The key of Moses is the head of the church, not the Peter, James, and John. Behold, here is wisdom. See, Moses is the reaper. Peter, James, and John are the sowers. And they lied about the seed, planting tares among the wheat. And thus, the word got confused, covered up and hidden like a woman's body. Behold, here is wisdom. Yea, to be a seer, a prophet, revelator, and a translator, having all the gifts and powers of God. She bestows upon only the head of the church. He can teach you, but you got to stick to it. Hiram Page, not go your own way. And section 85. It is contrary to the will and commandment of God that those who shall receive not their inheritance by consecration, agreeable to this law, which he has given, that he may tithe his people to prepare them against the day of vengeance and burning, should have their names enrolled with the people of God. Neither is their genealogy to be kept, or to be had, where it may be found on any of the records or history of the church. But keep track of those apostates. Their names shall not be found, neither their names of their fathers, nor the names of their children written in the book of the law. Oh, saith the Lord of hosts. And again, this is the same. My way is perfect. When are people going to understand this? If I have to modify it for you, it will not be perfect, and you're just going to complain. And I'll say, you're to blame. You didn't do it my way. So, Deuteronomy 18, verses 15 through 19. And it shall come to pass that I, the Lord God, will send one mighty and strong, holding the scepter of power in his hand, clothed with light for a covering, whose mouth shall utter words, eternal words, sarcastic words, condemning words. I told you so words. While his bowels shall be a fountain of truth, to set in order the temple that Brigham Young botched. Do not touch the temple, Oaks. You have no authority, and yet they mock. Look at us, we're touching the Ark of the Covenant. Na, 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 na. How'd that go for Nelson, Oaks? Or Monson? Huh? Still gonna play dumb, are you? Spiritual witness math. Oh my hell. So the reason for the book of the law with the names of those who are coming to Zion is to arrange by lot the inheritance of the saints whose names are found, and the names of their fathers and the names of their children enrolled in the book of the law of God. This is essential. And if I have to do it by scratch, I'm gonna be pissed. The church has already everything set up to make this quick and easy. They just have to hand it over. Easy. I'm sure they'll hand it over and quit. Say, yeah, we're bad, we admit it. Here you go, Travis. Save Mormons. We failed. Quick and easy, right? I'm sure they'll give it up. With all the money and all the power they have. All of the destruction they've caused. Sure. Why not? Because my way would be perfect. But if survivors have to come in and sit in front of me, as I'm going to have to do it all, because it can't just be a list of questions for worthiness. I need to interrogate you. I'm going to have to make sure that no evil person comes to Zion. And if there are evil Mormons who survive and think that they're going to come live in Zion, then there's going to be weeping and wailing and sarcasm, anger. I'm going to rule, Travis. I'm going to murder you to enslave these Mormons to my will, because I know better. I am layman. Yeah, and what kind of economy are you going to use? Oh, I've got the perfect economy for Zion. We'll use section 119 on tithing. That'll be perfect. You can go back home now. Thanks for coming. Goodbye. See, this way, I get to delegate. My way is perfect. There's already a system in place. Already have it planned. And it's just not going to happen, is it, Oaks? You're going to go to your dying breath before you hand over this church, are you? What about you, Irene? You going to defy the dream? Murder Mormons again, do an analysis of it. Did you tell them? You're going to wait until you become the living prophet of Jesus for everybody to study who you are and what you did to those in southern Utah. You're going to tell them? You're going to tell them that you betrayed them? So, that's the book of the law. Those who get to come to Zion. Not the ledger of who's paid tithing. That was Brigham Young's version. This was put in by Brigham Young, by the way. He didn't want to put it in the, I don't think it was 1884. Doctrine and Covenants. I think he put it in last, right before he died. We're checking. I don't memorize. Because this was a letter to W.W. Phelps. Therefore, it wasn't put in the 1835 Doctrine and Covenants. But Brigham Young knew about it. He knew. Yeah, the year before he died. But he knew in advance of the Nauvoo Temple being finished, because the painting of Brigham Young in the Holy of Holies of the Nauvoo Temple has him with his version of the Book of Mormon, his version of the 1844 Doctrine and Covenants, and his book of the law that he began writing in 1842. Right, Nelson? Oh, you're dead? He rushed out to have it published in the Joseph Smith papers right before Thanksgiving of 2023, when he said he'd all finished the Joseph Smith Papers project. Then they had some more stuff in 2024 that still put in. But yeah, they were claiming that the ledger was proof that section 119 is true. No, it's a fact. It's a forged document. That's why the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has ceased to exist on the face of the earth and still doesn't exist to this very day. The corporation of Heber J. Grant is a corporation for a non-existent religion of Mormons who believe it still exists on the face of the earth. And you, pretending to be their president, are lying to them. Aren't you going to tell them the truth? No? Why is that? Why is that? So, yeah, the reason why Brigham Young didn't publish 19 July 1840 is because Joseph Smith calls out Brigham Young as the enemy who's going to not only murder Joseph, but be the enemy in the latter days, causing the destruction. And wouldn't you know it, Willard Richards not only changed the name of Nephi to Moroni, put in Jesus Christ in the name of the church in verse 1, but also changed the change that Joseph Smith had regarding Malachi to say that the enemy of verse 1, the Danites, are they who are going to come and burn everybody, because they're the destruction company. They burn things. And they burned Utah to the ground. And you're welcome for the rain. Rainy days and Mondays always get Mormons upset. I'm grateful. Alright. So let's get to some other stuff of Mormon mythology. So, Los Angeles Times. Will Mitt Romney fulfill a Mormon prophecy and save the Constitution? Well, the Los Angeles Times did not know about Benson saying, nope. Joseph Smith is a false prophet. The Constitution will not be saved in Washington. Judith Freeman, October 19th, 2019. 19? The year before the test run? What? Because he failed to be president. I thought this was going to be from the president days. Apparently not. So let's see what the hell this is. Mitt Romney has emerged as the Lone Ranger. I'm partial to Roy Rogers myself. Yippee-ki-yay! Willing to speak out about our corrupt president. When the news of Trump's phone call with Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky broke, Romney said the situation was not just troubling but appalling. That's the, will you do me a favor though? Yeah, we'll help you. If you do me a favor, though. Ooh, it did get in. See, the thing is that these summer rains, they're heavy. So, yeah, the other one we had over the weekend, that was hail. And then Thursday, hail. That was heavy. I know somebody had broken the glass on the bus stop shelter. I'm just standing there thinking that I'm being protected, and then I look over and, hey, there's no glass. Dear God. People. He insisted we needed to know more and encouraged the impeachment inquiry go forward. That was number one. Number two was for, was it January 6th? Number two? After? I think so. And the Senate refused to convict again. Because the church had plans for Trump for his second coming. So, yeah, no, Romney failed. Mitt Romney did not press for facts in Brett Kavanaugh's Supreme Court confirmation hearings. Yeah, he's not going to be the savior of mankind. That's what it means. Tried to warn Mitt Romney in advance. He didn't listen to me either. And then, he got a special segment in the hearings. In this video, we show Mitt Romney fleeing for his life. Reports say Travis had sent him a letter because he was in his congregation or his district. So Travis was able to communicate directly with Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney sent him a letter back, giving him a wink, wink, nod, nod. We're Mormons. We know secret stuff. You're not listening, Mitt. The church is gonna murder you. is he now? Gone, hidden. Because he realized I was right. Dumbass. If you're not gonna listen, you might as well just run away and hide. So, when I think of Romney these days, it's hard not to recall a story of our frontier ancestors, both early Mormon settlers in northern Arizona. Our great-grandfathers were friends, bonded over the fact that they were both arrested for polygamy at the same time in 1884. When Mitt's ancestor, Miles P. Romney, couldn't afford bail, my paternal great-grandfather, William Jordan Flake, another Flake, lent him $1,000, but Romney never repaid him, and we became the Montagues and the Capulets, or whatever the names are. By mixing Romeo and Juliet with the Confederate guys. Instead, Miles P. lit out for Mexico. You mean fled the country? With his wives and children. Well, my great-grandfather spent 6 months in the Yuma Territorial Prison for returning to the families that awaited in town named after him. Later, he became one of the first Arizona state senators, perhaps laying out a political path for his progeny. So, where's the prophecy? Okay, here we go. Mitt and I have yet another connection, stranger and even more powerful than polygamist ancestors. It's something every child growing up in a Mormon household in the 1950s had drilled into their heads. One day, we were told, the Constitution of the United States will hang by a thread. No. And a Mormon, or group of Mormons, will save the nation. No. Yeah. So that's it. 2019, huh? But yeah, that was the thing when Mitt Romney ran for president. Mormons were all abuzz on saving the Constitution. But it would have been weird because in 2016's election, it has to be somebody who's brand new, because that's in the Book of Mormon. Remember, Constantine turned everything literal. History. Fact. Do not go against facts. Do not put falsehood in your premises. You will be wrong. So, where did I put you? Where did I put you? Staying alive. People say you're breaking and everybody shaking and staying alive. Second coming of Mormonism. There we go. White horse. No, White House. I'm getting it. Yes, I'm getting it. Come on, Steve, get it. Text of the White Horse Prophecy. I'm assuming this has got it. We'll find out. Had to re-download it because I don't know if I can find it in the files. Nonetheless. So it looks like there's intro. Edwin Rushton claims that in 1843 he was with the prophet Joseph Smith and Theodore Turley when the prophet gave what has become known as the White Horse Prophecy. 19 July 1840, dumbasses. Brigham Young refused to publish it. So they're doing 1843, is what they're claiming here. That Joseph Smith secretly told them stuff that he didn't tell other people, so obviously it must be true. And I'm horrified. Because people will believe that Joseph Smith was a polygamist in 1843. And they will doubt this, but be very curious that maybe do you know what hearsay is? Do you know that you shouldn't use it as your primary source? And so it's in the church's historian's office, so it must be true if they're covering it up and hiding it. And so when he's older, he then writes it down from his recollection. There is no real evidence that Turley was part of this recollection, as he died in 1872, apparently well before the story was recorded. Oh my hell. So was it after Joseph Smith? Or not Joseph Smith, after Brigham Young died too? Because that has significance. The United States shut down the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, established on 8 February 1851. Yeah, more lies. Isn't that fun? Fascinating. So, yeah, we'd have to see here. Edwin Rushton. See when he died. Because they're not given the date. Wait. Roberts apparently entered it into his diary on Sunday, March 2nd, 1902. Unbelievable. So, let's see. They reported very slight details inconsistent in content. Diary of John Roberts of Paradise, Utah, version in his own hand, signed by him, is available and also the Church History Library in microfiche. Roberts apparently entered it into his diary 1902. After returning February 1902 from a mission to Samoa, he reportedly received in 1902. So it was before 1902, but after 1872. Penrod has a persuasive article related to the dating of the source found In the Roberts diary, he argues that it was at least 1890, yeah, bingo, and likely after 1900 that Rushton recorded his recollections. This was 50 years after the alleged event occurred. So yeah, it is after the church is destroyed, and Mormons were claiming that the government has fallen, and a man like Moses, or not, the one mighty and strong was emerging, because Brigham Young put that also in the, yeah, that was 85. 1904 is when he died at 80 years of age. Okay. Okay. So, this is Robert's diary entry, not Rushton's, apparently. Sixth of May, 1843. A grand review of the Nauvoo Legion was held in Nauvoo. Prophet Joseph Smith complimented them for their good discipline and evolutions performed, the weather being hot. He called for a glass of water. With the glass of water in his hand, he said, "I will drink to your toast to the overthrow of the mobocrats." Wilford Woodruff's journal of John Taylor's dream also has this similar problem. Brigham Young had been telling Mormons, "We're gonna get revenge on America. We're going to overthrow the government." Other Mormons used the coded language, as if that were literal history truth, of Jesus coming and overthrowing the government. So that also needs to be factored in here. The question is, are we going to find hang by a thread, or are we going to not find anything of the sort? Here's wishing they were in the middle of the sea, a stone canoe with iron paddles, that a shark swallowed the canoe and the devil swallowed the shark. Himself locked up. Then a salamander came out, started talking. Joseph Smith III is supposed to be the head of the church. The next morning, a man who heard the prophet give the toast returned to visit the mansion of the prophet. You guys know that's where Joseph Smith held the temple endowment of washing and anointing, and in a separate room for the Masonic Lodge until they built the actual lodge. So it wasn't his alone. And so abused him, because Brigham Young, his mansion, yeah, that was just for him. He had to build separate homes for his other wives. and so abused him. And then he had the brothel, which was actually his home. With bad language. Wait a minute. Next morning, a man who had heard, okay, the man is abusing him, Joseph, with bad language, that he was ordered out by the prophet. See, that's, if it's not my way, that's what's going to happen. You're going to come to Zion, and you're going to start using bad language and abusing me, and I'm going to say you're out. You're going to get angry. Want to murder me. I know better how to run this people into the ground. It was while the two were out that my attention was attracted to them, and hearing the man speaking in a loud tone of voice, I went towards them. The man finally leaving, there were then present the prophet, Theodore Turley, and myself, Edwin Rushton. This is the Roberts guy in his journal in 1902. No. Yeah, Roberts entered into diary. Yeah. March 2nd, 1902. Prophet began talking to us of the mobbings and deriding and persecutions we as a people had endured. But we will have worse things to see. Our persecutors will have all the mobbings they want. You do know Joseph is talking about his own member missionaries, who are the Danites, right? You guys who went with Brigham? Our persecutors will have all the mobbings they want. Don't wish them any harm, for when you see their sufferings, you will shed bitter tears for them. Oh, Mormons are burning up in flames because they didn't listen. Or does the YouTube Mormon employee want to come out and confess that you're to blame? Hello? Mormon employee? While the conversation was going on, we stood by his south wicket gate in a triangle. Oh, did you get burned in this? Is that why? Turning to me, he said, I want to tell you something of the future. I will speak in a parable, like unto John the Revelator. See, they know. They know. Dear God. Bunch of sensitive snowflake, liar, liar, false prophets on fire. You will go to the Rocky Mountains. False alert. False alert. False alert. And you will become a great and mighty people established there, which I will call the white horse of peace and safety. When the prophet said, you will see it, I said, where will you be at that time? He said, I shall never go there. Your enemies will continue to follow you with persecutions, and they will make obnoxious laws against you in Congress to destroy the white horse. Do you remember? And yet it's Oaks with his religious freedom that's doing the obnoxious laws to overthrow the government. But you will have a friend in Jesus or two to defend you and throw out the worst parts of the law so that they will not hurt you so much. You must continue to petition Congress all the time, but they will treat you like strangers and aliens from Kolob, and they will not give you your rights. But then the mighty Trump in his second coming will designate the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints as the one and only true Church of Christian Jesus on the face of the whole earth, and that all Christians will be delegated to not being Christian anymore, declassified. So it is written, so it is said, so let it be written, so let it be done. You will see the Constitution of the United States almost destroyed. Yeah, here it is. It will hang like a thread as fine as silk fiber. Yeah, but it's Brigham Young and Heber C. Kimball. Let's see if I can find that, because somebody had collected them together. It was available online and somewhere in my files. And yeah, the White Horse Prophecy came up immediately. Joseph Smith Foundation, what prophets have taught about the Constitution. Okay, so they start with the 1840. Brigham Young. Yeah. Here's Brigham Young. When the Constitution of the United States hangs, as it were, upon a single thread. That's where Thurley got it from, or the other guy. It's a 14 Journal of Discourse. Yeah. Which one? 26? He didn't give the name of the talk, so I can find it real quick. So yeah, that's where they're getting it from, not from Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith is brink of ruin. Brigham Young was the one who turned it into hang by a thread. So responses are over the... Why does it do this? So we got the quotes, but then the footnotes for the sources. Just that one final batch from 25 down are screwed up. What page is this? 14? Custom. 1 to 14. about that, guys. And then there's YouTube channels that are doing about it. Other people who are not Mormon are talking about it. And I cringe. How do you know when the Constitution is hanging by a thread or upon the brink of ruin? When nobody's following it? It's been that way for a long time now. It's not just Trump. He's just doing it worse than before. Alright. So now where were we with that? On the Revelator. But John gives you the calendar dates and clock times, which Joseph now knows. But he, talking about this, doesn't know. Interesting. Because that tells you when the time that Joseph Smith is talking about the Constitution and the brink of ruin. And like I told you, it's in the beginning of the Book of Mormon. This is the time frame. Destroyed, silk fiber. At the time, the prophet's countenance becomes sad because, as he said, I love the Constitution. It was made by inspiration of God. It will be preserved and saved by the efforts of the white horse and by the red horse, who will continue in its defense. And the salamander shall emerge. They're using the four horsemen of the apocalypse to make it sound like it's legitimate, referring to John the Revelator. White horse will find the mountains full of minerals. They will become rich after paying their tithing and debt and toll to Brigham Young. You will see silver piled up in the streets. You will see the gold shoveled up like sand. And yet that failed. Joseph Smith is a false prophet. It's not this Rushton guy, or Roberts, who recorded Rushton saying it. Dear God. So yeah, no. Oh, flee to Zion, huh? Let's see what this says. So yeah, this is talking about so the bloodshed, the most terrible scenes of bloodshed, murder, rape that have ever been imagined or looked upon since 1838 by the Danites. People will be taken from the earth, and there will be peace and love only in the Rocky Mountains. So this is also going against the test by Heber C. Kimball and John Taylor's vision or dream. Interesting. This will cause many hundreds of thousands of the honest and hard of the world to gather here. Right, Bednar? Years ago, in this apartment stall, Bednar talked about the gathering of the saints. So I did church news video about how Bednar is calling Mormons to gather to Utah. Thousands of views. Thousands of thumbs downs back in the day when YouTube showed them. Hilarious. And the church came out with a retraction. Stay where you are. Nobody move. Pay your tithing now. Just hilarious. These guys. So this will cause many hundreds of thousands of the honest of heart of the world to gather here. Not because they would be saints, but for safety. That's also, no. But if you can obey the one law, fine. But they will be so numerous that you will be in danger of famine. See, they still, no bishop storehouses yet. Not until after the Great Depression. They knew what they needed to do, and 200 years they didn't do it, and now we're reaping the results. And you're welcome, by the way. But not for a want of seed, time, and harvest, but because of so many to be fed. See, again, it needs to be done in order. It cannot be survivors. My system is perfect. Why don't people listen? Many will come with bundles under their arms to escape the calamities. And again, they'll have to be intense. I told you, my way is perfect. I would have cabins with utilities, electric, cabins to build Zion so that you're not intense. God, do you not want plumbing? You want to be Christian, do you? You don't know that? With the advent of Christianity, plumbing went the way of the dodo bird. The clothes stuck to their skin and became their skin, so that if you peeled off your clothes, you peeled off your flesh. And the Black Plague, and they blamed the Jews, because the Jews are bathing. God, why do people choose to be dumb? Why? So yes, this is from section 45 of the Doctrine and Covenants. Of those who don't want to fight must flee to Zion for safety. He's mingling scripture with his own version of Hiram Page. Those that come to you will try to keep the laws and be one with you, and they will see your unity and greatness of your organization as it burns down in flames. The Turkish Empire of the Crescent. It's actually the solar eclipse, you dumbass. It will be the first power to be disputed. Turkish Empire, huh? No, got that wrong. For freedom must be given for the gospel to be preached in the Holy Land. The Lord took of the best blood of the nations and planted them on the small islands, now called England and Great Britain. They will keep Russia from sweeping her power over the world. Huh? England and France are now bitter enemies, but they will be allied together until Brexit of Steve Bannon. And Britain will regret Steve Bannon and his Cambridge Analytica that caused Brexit. And Travis tried to warn and nobody would listen. Redcoats are coming. So yeah, he's going off on other stuff that obviously have not happened. So I was just interested in his version of how Millennial Zion would be. Continuing, he said, during this time of the great white horse, we will have gathered strength, sending our elders to gather the honest in heart from among the pale horse, or people of the United States, to stand by the Constitution of the United States. Because Trump became the black horse. See, the white horse became Kim Jong-un. The red horse was Xi. The pale horse was Putin. So the black horse was Trump. Interesting. But they're saying the pale horse is going to be the United States, huh? And so we're sending out the elders. That's how he's interpreting that now. Is that the elders will do missionary work to tell the United States to stand by the Constitution as it was given by inspiration of God. So there's the black horse up above. Knowing that England did not believe in slavery. The redcoats are the red horse, then, aren't you? No? England had taken possession of the country. The black horse will flee to the invaders. He gives who's who, I guess. There's the Catholic Pope. Protestant religions. Henry VIII, I am. But anyway, let's see. We'll set up a kingdom. Here it is, the transfer of government authority to the church. In these days, which are yet to come, God will set up a kingdom never to be thrown down, but other kingdoms to come into it. And those kingdoms that will not let the gospel be preached in their lands will be humbled until they will. You have your agency. Allow the gospel, or we'll humble you until you do. They are proud and will not acknowledge the kingdom of God, nor come into it until they see the power it will have. Peace and safety in the Rocky Mountains will be protected by the guardians, the white and red horses. The coming of the Messiah among his people will be so natural that only those who see him will know that he has come. But he will come and give his laws unto Zion and minister unto his people. Fascinating what he's making up here based upon being a Mormon. Yep. Yeah, this is not Joseph. Another red flag. A red salamander. This will not be his coming in the clouds of heaven to take vengeance on the wicked of the world. Interesting. Okay, so the temple in Jackson County, Missouri will be built in that generation. 1840, Joseph Smith says, oh, do I still have it up on the screen? No, I do not. Let's get it back up on the screen. Yeah, the 12 olive trees are 12 stakes which are yet to be built, not the temple in Jackson as some suppose. Southern Illinois. Mountain cities of Zion and New Jerusalem. So yeah, anybody who comes out and says there will be a temple in Zion, in Jackson County, Missouri, because both Heber C. Kimball and John Taylor, nope, them destroyed. There won't be a temple there. And so yeah, the Mormons are still using the code of the Danites, when the Danites themselves are, throwing out other indicators that he did not listen to. Because back in those days, if you weren't able to attend in the tabernacle, you had to get the printed version. And so that's why Mormon myths flourished in those days. Because people said they heard things and then went and spread it around. Didn't bother to read the text or go there themselves to have heard it. But even still, Mormons to this day, are we allowed to watch R-rated movies? Yeah, everybody's illiterate. Don't see R-rated movies, said Benson to the youth of the noble birthright. I know the source origin. All Mormons shut off their ears after he said that. He kept going. That are. So there's qualifications. Which means, yes, you can watch R-rated movies. What are those qualifications? Well, he started with the bad things for idol worship, but he finished later on in the talk at the end, quoting the 13th article of faith. If there's anything beautiful, lovely, of good report, or praiseworthy, we seek after it. So if an R-rated movie has beautiful, lovely, good report, or praiseworthy stuff, we seek after it. How do you know unless you watch it first? Everybody wants to be a dummy. Let's see. But with all the help you can receive, you can put up a great temple quickly. See, he's still thinking temple. I'm thinking cities are the temple. Remember, it's the house of the Lord. You're coming to live in the house. The temple is the house. It's the whole symbolism of it. There won't be an actual temple anymore. It's your house. Your house is the temple. You'll have all the gold, silver, precious stones you need, for these things will only be for the beautifying of the temple. See, he's not thinking in terms of the people. The people have to go without fine things. People have to be poor, modest. God, all the skilled mechanics you want, and the 10 tribes of Israel will help build it. When you see this land bound with iron, you may look forward to Jackson County. Yeah, this whole thing. ICE, the homeless center, the asylums, all of these are to enslave the people, to lock them up, to remove them from society, to create a slave nation. We're there. At this point, he made a pause, and looking up as though the vision were still in view, he said, "There is a land beyond the Rocky Mountains that will be invaded by heathen Chinese, unless great care and protection be given." You're not going to say that it's California? Speaking of the heathen nations, he said, "Where there is no law, there is no condemnation." That's why Mormons play dumb, so that they can't be judged by the higher law of intelligence. This will apply to them. Power will be given to the white horse to rebuke the nations afar off, and you obey it, for the laws go forth from Zion. The last great struggle that Zion will ever have to contend with will be when the whole of America will be made the Zion of God. Yeah, they still kept that going. Hand over the government, nobody gets hurt. Those opposing will be called Gog and Magog. The nations of the earth will be led by the Russian Tsar Putin, and his power will be great. But all opposition will be overcome, and this land will be the Zion of our God. Amen. He didn't say in the name of Jesus Christ. Credibility of the white horse prophecy. In this prophecy, something which can be relied upon. Is this something that can? Okay. Can it be read with some credibility or confidence? Don't read it. That's not the scientific method. Although it may have true elements contained in the text as recorded in the diary, it nevertheless is not something members of the Church of Jesus Christ consider canon or scripture, nor is belief in details binding upon members of the church. Why is this so? character and personal integrity of Edwin Rushton. He's not the president of the church. Just want to scream. Everybody wants to be a dumbass. So there you have it. What is real and what is fake. But I told you so. Way to perfection, Joseph Fielding Smith, Sr. Government is supposed to be handed over to the church, and Trump failed. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is rising up again to still try to hand it over to the church. But the church is burning Utah to the ground. And this is to scatter Mormons. The church is trying to purge the church. Gilbert is put in the apostleship so that Oaks can do what he's doing to purge members. Members are getting sued. Faithful members, not just apostates. To force people to choose. Who are you going to be faithful to? A popular Mormon on YouTube or the church? Are you going to be on the fence listening to John Delen's videos or solely to the church? They've shut me up, so I'm not a concern anymore. And I'm the one they fear, because I'm the one who's been right this whole time, because I'm the one with the gifts and powers of God and the key of Moses and all other keys. By my works you know me, and you still deny. Well, welcome to Monday.